Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are actually talking about politics and foreign cyber attacks because they're a reality. They go hand in hand, and the National Rifle Association here in the United States is proving it. Now, normally I would do this on my Breaches of the Week video, but I actually think this is an important topic that goes outside the scope of the data breach I'm going to talk about here. But first, a primer on what's going on, and this is coming from NBC News, but multiple organizations are reporting on this. Here's what's up. Russian cybercriminal group, or rather a Russian cybercriminal group, has posted what appears to be National Rifle Association, or NRA, files to the dark web. This group is known as Grief, posted 13 files to their website today and claimed to have hacked the NRA. It is threatening to release more files if not paid, which is traditional ransomware extortion, and like many ransomware gangs, Grief posted a handful of files stolen from the NRA in an effort to spur the ransom payment to essentially prove that they have the files that they were there, that they were actually in the NRA's systems. Now, cybersecurity experts, including myself, widely believe that Grief is a rebranded effort by the group of Russian cybercriminals previously known as Evil Corp, which is currently under sanctions by the U.S. Treasury Department. The NRA did not respond, basically, when asked for a comment. It did post a tweet saying that, quote, does not discuss matters relating to its physical or electronic security, and that the organization, quote, takes extraordinary measures to protect information regarding its members, donors, and operations. Grief is a criminal group, but they're not known for bluffing when it comes to basically victims and ransom because, again, they're putting proof out there that they have these files, and it's in their best interest to not claim falsely anything like this because then people simply won't pay. So odds are Grief has exactly what they're claiming to have. Now, most of the files that were viewed on the leak site relate to NRA grants. They include blank grant proposal forms, a list of recent grant recipients, an email to a recent grant winner earlier this month, as well as a W-9 form. It's a tax form here in the United States. The leak also includes the minutes from a September 24th NRA meeting. Now, the cybercriminals, many based in Russia, have made ransomware a constant threat, obviously, in recent years. And a lot of these Russian gangs, as I've mentioned, they were hacking businesses and schools and police. You can see that or listen to that on my basically the Breaches of the Week video and podcast that I do every week. So obviously that's a huge problem. The White House is aware. They're working on that. And so that is a huge problem. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because what everybody's not reporting is actually the correlation that we see between Russian cutout gangs or Russian cyber criminal gangs essentially stealing information that is politically sensitive and damaging, and therefore either turning it over, working hand in hand, or being paid by the Russian government, specifically their intelligence wing, to actually do this. We have been seeing this consistently for years, and one of the things that Russia has done is basically turned a blind eye to these cyber criminal gangs. It was to the point where earlier this year, President Biden, thanks to the Colonial Pipeline hack and SolarWinds, mentioned on stage with Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, that essentially Russia can no longer turn a blind eye to the criminals that are basically leveraging Russian internet service providers, and there has been no recourse whatsoever. There are videos out there of these cyber gangs just flaunting it all over, various Russian cities. I saw one where this basically known criminal hacker was in his Lamborghini just doing donuts in the middle of the road in Moscow or St. Petersburg or wherever he is. But this really underscores the problem that we have here, is that we are constantly under attack. And it's not just the businesses, but it's also the organizations that are essentially political action groups, lobbyists, politicians themselves. We have been tracking a huge amount of this, including, just basically spoofing of Microsoft Office 365 to get political campaigns to accidentally give away usernames and passwords, harvesting of usernames and passwords in the dark web, and all of this. And so the NRA is just the latest example of this. But I'm taking the media to task here for essentially isolating this as an incident to say, well, the NRA got hacked and here's what happened. Yes, that's a good primer, but understand we have a bigger picture going on here, which is why the news isn't just about the NRA. It's about this continuous information, disinformation, and cyber warfare campaign that we have being run against the United States and its interests, and conversely, We are hitting targets and running influence operations ourselves. Don't get me wrong. There is really nobody innocent here, but understand, as we are living in politically divided time, we have things like anti-hacking treaties in place with dozens of countries around the globe, but Russia and China won't sign them. And I think it's time that we essentially bring these kinds of things to bear with essentially universal political pressure on those that won't fall in line. And I think that's a huge, huge problem. And I think everybody just needs to chill out. But if you have a large country with a large amount of internet, at least in specific areas of the country, and they're turning a blind eye to the cyber criminals because they are leveraging those cyber criminals to do a lot of their intelligence work for them, or basically to have that buffer so you can blame the cyber criminal gang, but you don't blame the government. That's a huge problem. That makes the government criminal as well, and I think it's something that we need to discuss, and here we are, and that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please stay private. Thanks, everyone.